Hi everyone, welcome to Google for Mobile. I do hope you're enjoying yourself so far, and I hope you get a chance to meet a lot of interesting new people, developers, tech enthusiasts, or designers. My name is Martin. I am also from London, and I work for Play. I'm an engineer over there. And this is my colleague Craig, who will be speaking a bit later into the presentation. So if you're like me, whenever you come back from an event or conference, your team, and especially your boss, always ask you, what did you learn while you were away, Want to see some results? And especially because this is a developer conference, not only will your team want to hear about what you learned, but also like maybe see a demo or something you can build. So, when you get home today and you get a text saying, first thing tomorrow, we want to see some of this in action and build an app, how do you get from 0 to a 5-star app? And I think this is a bit of what we'll be addressing today. We have found, when you want to build a 5-star app, we found there are two key components, and that is telemetry and customer interaction. And that's what we'll talk about today. Basically, first, I'll address a bit about how to increase your app's technical quality. And then my colleague Craig will talk a bit about what is the best way to listen to user and know what they're telling me, and also understand what is the most important things they're telling me. So, without further ado, let's jump right into how to improve the app technical quality. First of all, you probably have heard of this if you're here. We are talking a bit about Firebase Test Lab. This is our data center of real-world Android devices where you can test your app. It allows you to test your app across a variety of devices, languages, and also Android versions. It has already performed over 1 million real-world tests. You can run your own custom tests and just launch them from Android Studio or from the Firebase console. And also, we've announced back at I/O this new feature called Pre-Launch Report. Pre-Launch Report is a new feature you can access from the Google Play developer console. It basically summarizes reports with issues found when testing your app on a wide range of devices, and it's powered by the Firebase Test Lab. Now, before I jump into all of the details, does anybody here actually have an app on Google Play? Like, who here has an app? Raise your hand. App on Google Play? No? Craig? Yes? Okay. Yeah. And who here, when you launch a new release of your app, do you test it on a physical device? More than 10 physical devices? More than 10? Yeah? Okay. And who also gets results within an hour? No? Okay. Hopefully after today, you'll know how to do this by using the pre-launch report on the Play developer console. Okay, so the first thing we look at on this tool is basically the stability of your app. We use Firebase Test Lab to run your app on real devices. This is a real device farm. And we tell you in which ones it crashes on startup or after a deep crawl of the app. This means it won't be your users finding out the crashes and give you a 1-star review. It'll be these devices. You can see here the latest version, for example. This is a chart showing basically my APK version code over time and the amount of devices we tested, and the red ones show you how many times it crashed, in which devices it crashed. And you can see right here, in my latest version, I had, let's say, 2 crashes. So before this hits my real production users, I can take a look at what happened, and you can see the stack trace, the device configuration, and other information to help you get to the root cause of the issue before this hits production. Cool. Also, the pre-launch reports will tell you how your app looks like on different devices. You will get to see how it looks in different Android versions, screen resolutions and sizes, and languages, like, for example, right-to-left Arabic, emerging market languages such as Hindi, or, for example, German, which, as you can see here, it causes a layout issue in my app, which I couldn't have realized if I hadn't tested this on German. The final part of the reports, this pre-launch report, is it tells me if I have any security vulnerabilities on my app. In general, I'm sure nobody here would ever introduce a security issue in their app, but maybe you're compiling or integrating with a latest version of a third-party ad SDK, and you bring the newest version, and you didn't realize that it actually has a security vulnerability. So now, with this tool, you will be able to know if your app has a security vulnerability before it reaches production. So in the security section, you will have the Google security team working with you to make sure you don't have any known vulnerabilities in your latest release. For example, a list of some examples of known vulnerabilities we scan for are Apache Cordova 2, OpenSSL, ad networks, and many more. So, if you've been here for the previous talk, my colleague Xiang talked a lot about beta testing. It's one of my favorite features, and it's certainly a very popular and powerful feature in Google Play. So we wanted to make this even more useful by performing this comprehensive set of tests on your app before it hits production. So today, you can go to the developer console and opt in to the pre-launch report. This will mean that a pre-launch report is generated every time you upload an APK to your alpha or beta channel and before you roll it out to production. And in about an hour, you will get a pre-launch report summarizing any issues we found, be it the security problems or the crashes when we test your app. And the pre-launch report will alert you of these potential issues before your app, once, as I've already said, reaches any of your production users and gives you some time to fix it so you can ensure that your users get the best experience possible in Google Play. So, we've talked about making sure that when I roll out my APK to production, it's the best APK possible. But how can I keep track of it once I do roll it out to production? Well, for starters, you can use the stage rollouts, which once again my colleague Xiang has talked a bit about. Just make sure the launch is as safe as possible. But we also recently added the ability to upload the obfuscation files. This means that if you get a crash report on the developer console, you'll be able to take a look at a more readable version of this stack trace. Also, we've introduced a Firebase crash reporting. And as you've probably heard in other talks, we are launching this cross-platform crash reporting tool for mobile developers across iOS and Android. And it is part of a much larger suite of developer tools. It integrates your analytics and also notifications, which means if a user has a crash, you can send him a notification and let him know when that crash has been fixed. With Firebase Crash, it really helps you prioritize what crashes to fix based on the severity it is having to the important business metrics of your app. And also, if you've uploaded mapping files, as we've just mentioned, to the Play developer console, you'll be able to use these mapping files on the Firebase console once you've linked your accounts. So, we've talked about pre-launch reports and Firebase as powerful tools you can use to make sure your releases are as excellent and as controlled as possible. So now, my colleague Craig will talk a little bit about some other tools to improve your customer interaction.
Thank you, Martin. Good morning. My name is Craig. I'm a user experience researcher working on the Play developer console based in London. We talked how to focus and improve your app's technical aspects, but listening to your users is one of the most important things that you can do. As I'm sure you know, one of the most important sayings is, the customer is always right. Focusing on quality can have a very material impact on revenues too. Game Evil worked to improve their star rating of their game from 3.3 stars to 4.1. And over the same period, they observed a revenue increase of 160%. That's massive, and that's exactly what we want for all of you here today. As the developers at Avery tell us, it's never too early to listen to your users, and it can make a real difference to your development speed. To help you in this, we have a few announcements to make. First, I would like to announce Early Access in Google Play. Early Access is a new program that makes it easier for your users to discover apps that are still under development, directly from within the Play Store. As part of Early Access, if you are running an open beta, users will be able to opt into your beta directly from the Play Store and become beta testers for your Apple game. It's also a great way for your beta apps to receive early feedback from your prospective users. Until now, beta users were not allowed to rate your app, and we heard from lots of you how irritating and frustrating that you found. As part of Early Access, all beta users will now be able to leave private feedback to you. They can do this directly from the store listing page or from within the Play Store. Let me repeat this. The feedback is private. It's just for you, and this will not affect your actual store rating. In the Play Developer Console, you will find a new section under Ratings and Reviews called Beta Feedback. In here, you will find all the private feedback that your beta users have given you. Just like normal reviews, you can filter and search through the feedback. You can also reply to your beta users to further engage with them. Let's add beta feedback as one of the tools that you can use during your app life cycle. But early feedback is only really one part of the game. Once your app is live, you're likely to receive many more reviews. So it's important to be able to sift through them and prioritize these effectively. Let's look at how you can do that from within the Play Developer Console. The ratings page in the Play Developer Console gives you a view at a glance of your app rating. It includes historical trends and how your rating changes across countries and app versions. Beyond rating scores, we have invested a ton of time to make your user reviews stand out and make them really helpful to you. We have significantly revamped the reviews page in the Developer Console specifically for this. First, you can see review highlights. These are salient snippets extracted from your user reviews. These snippets are available to you in the Play Developer Console, but are also visible to users visiting your store listing page in the Play Store. This will help you understand what aspects of your app captured your users' attention and what features they look at when deciding whether to install your app or not. We've added a new section called Topics. We're using machine learning and natural language processing to analyze all of your reviews and identify specific topics that your users mentioned that are specific to your app. This is a real superpower. For example, if you're a language learning app, users might mention the variety of languages, the quality of the spoken conversation, or the ability to work offline. If you're a car racing game, users might mention specific gameplay options or game graphics. For each topic, we give you the distribution of ratings contributing to that topic and how much users are talking about it. Finally, we give you an indication of the effect that this topic has on your overall rating. The more red, it happens, the more opportunity you have to increase your rating by addressing the user concerns on this very specific topic. In this way, you can direct your attention to the topics that are most pressing to your users and really improve their experience. Another new section is benchmarks. We looked at all reviews across all apps in the store, and we identified 8 common characteristics that can be quantified for any app in Play. From app stability, speed, design, those sorts of things. You can then compare how your users score your app across these common traits and how your app compares to other similar apps in the same category as yours, both in terms of rating and the volume of user reviews on the topic compared to your peers. And like you've seen for topics, also for benchmarks, we calculate the effect on rating to highlight which trait in your app you should focus on to maximize user satisfaction. Like the developers at Groupon, we hope that you will find highlights, topics, and benchmarks useful to help you truly understand your users and prioritize the work to have as much impact as possible. All of these features are available today in the Play Developer Console. But you don't just have to take my word for it, okay? Let's look at some data. So we analyzed all English reviews in the Play Store where a topic could be identified, and here's what we found. For all 1-star reviews mentioning a topic, in 50% of the cases, the review complains about stability and bugs. For 5-star reviews mentioning a topic, 60% of the cases reviews praises the app speed, design, and usability. So you can look at your app reviews today and see what the data looks like for you. Using these signals, you can understand where you're letting your users down or where you're doing really well, and then prioritize your work to make your Apple game even better. Great. Now you can better understand what your users need. It's time to take action. Engaging in a conversation with your users is a crucial part of managing your app quality. you can use filters and search capabilities to drill down from the aspects and topics I mentioned before into the individual reviews that mention them. Once you identified the reviews that need your attention, it's really important to engage with your users to reply to address their concerns. In the past few months, we've added a new feature. You can now choose to be notified when users update their review. This is a great way of remaining in contact with your users, and we've already seen great adoption here. Over 40% of top Play developers have enabled update notifications already. So, if you haven't enabled them yet already, please go and do that today. Every time a user updates a review to which you replied, you will get an email notification about the change. Replying to your user reviews really is a core part of managing your user's experience, and users are coming to expect a high level of support. It really makes a difference to the experience that you can offer. In the last year, the amount of developer replies to users increased 92%. Again, this is massive, and we expect this to continue. This is what The Guardian had to say. So, if you're not yet interacting with your users, please start today. I'm pretty sure all of you would like your users to be 5-star loyalists. Okay, one more thing. We've heard from many of you, you need to integrate reviews into your own existing customer management tools. So today, we are making available a new review API. With just a few lines of code, you'll be able to fetch live reviews and reply to them. And if you're not in the mood for writing code, we have zero-effort integration with some of the most popular and leading customer relationship management tools, like Zendesk and Conversocial. With just a few clicks, you can make Play reviews available in Zendesk and start interacting with your users. Let me say once more, interacting with your users can really make a difference. For example, we have measured that users who update their star rating after a developer reply on average increase their rating by 0.71 stars. And we all know the difference between a 4-star app and a 4.71. Okay, we've covered quite a lot of topics, so let's do a quick recap. Whilst your app is under development, make use of the pre-launch report to get insights about the technical quality of your alpha and beta versions of your app. From launch testing to screenshots across form factors to security scanning, it's all there for you. If you run open betas, do listen to the private feedback that your beta testers will write via the Play Early Access program. Once you're live in production, continue monitoring your app's technical quality using a crash reporting tool like the just announced Firebase crash. And pay close attention to what your users are telling you, either through the reviews analysis features available in the developer console, like benchmarks and topics, or using the review API integrating with your own CRM solutions. Thank you very, very much for your time. We've covered quite a lot of topics. If you have any questions, we will be around all day, so please come and talk to us about your needs, about how you use the Play Developer Console. We're more than happy to talk with you. Thank you very much.